Hi.
I'm speaking with, tell me if I'm saying it right. Is it Erockfor?
Erockfor.
Erockfor. So welcome to Montreal Rocks. And you're from Montreal, right? You're born in Montreal?
Yes, I am. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And so I heard your single that you released recently, and it's very personal.
Yes, yes, it is.
Your single that you just released is called "I Thought You Loved Me," and it's a deeply personal song.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you a little bit of details. Yeah, I was married, and that relationship totally crumbled. There was a lot of things that were not right in it, and that's what I wrote about in the song. And it was a hard time for me. It really was a hard time for me. It's part of the reason why I moved to Korea, to escape that situation. But when I moved, I bloomed, and it basically changed my life. And that's why I found it important to start the album with that song.
Okay, so it's like a new beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
How long did you stay in Korea for?
I was there on and off for 6 years.
Wow. Was it not like a culture shock for you?
Yeah, it really was. I made the decision to move to Korea like very quickly. Like I decided to leave in May. By July, I found a job. In August, I was on a plane, like to the point where some of my friends didn't even know I had moved. It's just like they messaged me to hang out, and I'm like, well, I kind of moved to Korea. Like, so yeah, it happened really quickly, and like it really hit me when I was on the plane. Like I went to from Montreal to LA, and then LA to Seoul, and the plane to LA, it just hit me that like you just left everything you knew, and I just started crying on the plane. Like,
wow.
So it was a really emotional move, but once I got there, it was like a whole new world, you know? I was just looking around in amazement, and I felt really grateful to be there because I was in such a dark place when I left. And yes, there were cultural shocks, but people were really welcoming to me and very helpful. Like I remember like coming out of the metro and just like looking around, looking lost, and a man approached me. He's like, "Let me be your guide." It's like,
Wow.
where do you want to go? Like people were really, really helpful.
Okay.
So it was a smooth transition, and I was teaching. So I was interacting with kids, and like they were hilarious, and it made me come out of my shell as well, because when dealing with kids, you kind of have to be a comedian. So I was like a clown, basically.
Yeah, that's like when you went to Korea, though, you had no family or friends. Were you all alone?
Yeah, I was. But then I found out that I had like some distant cousins in like nearby cities in Korea. Like,
wow.
So I got to see them a few times. But in Seoul, I was by myself. I spent a lot of time just going to my favorite vegan restaurant there with a book and just reading. Like I had no friends, and then eventually I started meeting people.
Okay. Did you have a background in teaching, or you just took the job and hoped to see where you would end up? Or
I had tutored in the past.
okay.
Yeah, I'm not a certified teacher, but I have like tutoring experience.
Okay. So is your background in music? Because do you play an instrument, or you? Because I saw on your Instagram, you're a dancer, right, as well?
A burlesque performer. So I'm more like a movement person. I won't call myself a dancer, but I move. So my background, I'm actually a writer. Like I studied English literature. I studied translation. Like I had a translation business before I left Montreal.
Oh.
So yeah, I have a varied background. I'm a writer and tutoring experience, and music has been my first love since I was a kid. Like I've always known I wanted to do music, but it's just that I didn't have, I guess, the confidence, and I was just super shy. Like when I would get on stage, I would just shake, I would just tremble, and I'd be having to like talk to myself, like, okay, stop shaking, while I was on stage. And when I started doing burlesque when I was in Korea, because I joined like an all-black burlesque group when I was there, that really like took away all shyness away, you know, like I was at a point in my life where I was just saying yes to everything. And my friend texted me, she's like, "Do you want to join an all-black burlesque group?" And I'm like, yes. And once I said that, I was like, oh no, what did I get myself into?
Well, dancing burlesque on a stage in front of people is not something to do when you're shy. I mean, well, I can't imagine. Like I couldn't do it. I would probably freeze. I don't know. Anyways, not now. Those days are gone. Wow. I mean, I'm sure you've thought about it, but since you have a background in literature, I'm sure you could write a very interesting book about that experience if you haven't already started.
I have not, but yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah, that would be very like the other side of burlesque, like as a, first person experience, that would be cool. So what kind of music did you listen to growing up, like in your home, with your family? Like what did your parents listen to, or your siblings, if you had any?
Yeah, my mom listened to a lot of Tina Turner, Toni Braxton, Cyndi Lauper. I listened to like Macy Gray growing up. I was like a YTV kid, so I would listen to those. I'd watch those countdown shows that I have. So I was listening to like top 40 stuff. But yeah, I loved Sade. Well, I still do. I love Sade. I love Macy Gray, Erykah, Badu. Like, yeah, yeah, amazing.
Do you follow Erykah Badu on Instagram?
Yeah, I do.
She's like, she turned 50, right? And yeah, I find her like, she's so interesting. Like she never gets old. She's always creating something, I love her.
She kind of reminds me, like, she gives me like alien vibes, she's like otherworldly.
Right? So cool. Yes. And she's a doula also, and like a healer. I mean, she's just, I don't know. I find her like so spiritual, and she's fascinating. I'm like obsessed with her.
Yeah, me too.
She came to Montreal once and I missed it, and I never saw her, but I really want to see her live.
Oh, I have never seen her live, but I would love to.
Yeah. Also, yeah, I also read on your bio that you're a little bit, I can see the Amy Winehouse comparison because lyrically as well, because if there's one thing that everybody loves about Amy is that not just her voice, but her stories that she tells, they're so evocative and personal and even aggressive at times, which I really like.
Yeah. I love her music. I love her storytelling.
Well, I saw one of your lines in your I Thought You Loved Me song is, well, maybe I shouldn't. It's something about having a bitch on my bed. So that line, like, it struck me like, yeah.
True story. True story. True story.
I saw that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's very powerful to take a shitty experience and then transform it and like own it and, use it and kind of cathartic and, tell your story and take power of that.
Yeah. And like that situation happened like 6 years ago, or maybe 7 years at this point. So now I can really release it and not feel any like pain about that situation. I released the music video and he actually reached out to me and apologized again. And I'm like, it's art at this point. Like it's
right.
What out of the bridge. It's all good,
Yeah.
I'm just hoping with this album, people can see the transformation. Because the album starts with that low point, and then like afterwards, I take you through like the healing process that ensued. So I hope really people can connect to that. The album is called Phoenix because I really did feel like I had a death, like a little death, and like I really I'm alive now,
like I said, I went on a little bit on your Instagram, and you have a lot of inspirational quotes and thoughts and philosophies and wisdoms and all that. And as I was watching it, it was like you said, the album is called Phoenix, and it's sort of like creating music too. You're healing yourself, you're healing others, you're transforming, you're inspiring, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's all about transformation. And even this process of making the album is like kind of like transforming again, listening to the songs. I get kind of emotional because I connect to that moment where I was feeling so low. Like I have a song called Heart for the heart chakra. And I'm just like listening to it and I'm like, I just remember a time where I didn't love myself as much. And like now I'm like full of that love. So I just hope that people connect with that emotion too.
And like who inspires you? Like what kind of music are you listening to now? Or
I really love Billie Holiday. Like Billie Holiday, her voice is it just hits you, you know? And like she communicates such emotion. And that's what I hope to do as well with my music. So yeah, Billie Holiday really inspires me. Erykah Kitt inspires me. Like strong women with a story that I somehow connect to. And of course, like Tina Turner, like I mentioned, like I love her. And then she's like, she has such an amazing story too. And one that I kind of connect with. Yeah.
Is there a song that you've ever heard that you wish that you had written?
That's a good question. And I'm like, I can't think of songs. Let's see.
Or what are lyrics? Like, what are the lyrics that you've heard? Do you find it harder to write lyrics, or do you have someone helping you with the melodies and the tunes, or is it all you that creates everything?
So usually I come up with the lyrics myself, and then usually I'll come up with a melody as well. But I'm also working with a producer, and sometimes I present to her a melody and then she'll switch it up a bit. So this process has been really, really fun because she gives a lot of creative input. So it's a great collaboration.
Okay. It's a Montreal producer?
LA. She's in LA.
You went to Korea and you taught English, and then you said you always loved music, right? Always.
Yeah. So I was performing in Montreal here and there, but like I said, I was really, really shy. Okay. So I didn't really take it as seriously as I'm taking it now. When I started doing burlesque in Seoul, I started singing during my performances. And I was singing like jazz songs. So I'm like, you know what? I need to release these songs, because I had like a bunch of songs that I would write. Like I would write songs even though I wasn't releasing the music. So I'm like, I have to release these songs. Right. So I left Korea for a bit, spent some time with my family, and then I decided to move back, but with the intention of being a jazz performer. I'm like, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna do jazz. That's what I'm gonna do. And so I moved back, and like I had a gig that first weekend, I think. Like really, it happened really quickly. I connected with a pianist online, and we met. The first time we met was at a gig. So he messaged me. He's like, okay, I have this gig. Are you down to do it? I'm like, okay. So we met there. We performed together, and we had great chemistry. So we became a duo. So we were performing at different clubs there. And I was actually able to stop teaching and just to perform full time. But Corona happened, so yeah, so that put an end to that. So
wait, were you in Korea when Corona happened? No.
Yeah, I was there.
Oh wow.
So that was an interesting experience. Like it was really tough because like I was gigging full time, and then like all of a sudden I couldn't gig anymore, and that was my source of income. So yeah, that was a hard time for me. And I left Korea in July of last year.
So now you're in Montreal. You're living back in Montreal?
I'm splitting my time between Montreal and El Paso. My boyfriend is in El Paso. I met him in Korea, actually. Oh, okay. And he's in El Paso. So I split my time between both places.
So you're recording a new album though, right? Is it an EP?
It's an album, a 10-song album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And so are you doing it remotely, or you're going back and forth, or how is that working?
I started recording it in Montreal, and I have there's a studio I go to here. So I've been recording songs in El Paso, and I'll record a few songs in Atlanta, and then the project is done. I'm releasing it. It's scheduled for October. Maybe it'll come out beginning of November, but the aim is end of October.
Okay, so 10 songs. That's pretty cool. You must be excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's a stressful process as well, because like I want people to love these songs, but at the end of the day, like I have to love it first, you know, as long as I'm content with it, that's what matters. I was thinking about it, like being an artist, like in my regular life, it's easy for me to say, like, I don't care what people think of me. Like I just do my thing. I don't care. But as an artist, if you want to be, you know, if you want to be able to sustain yourself as an artist, people have to like you. So that's like
Yeah.
the difficult part.
Is it on Spotify or the I Thought You Loved Me? It's on Spotify, no?
Yeah, it's on Spotify on my music. So since I Thought You Loved Me, I've released two other singles since then. So I have I Don't Want You Back, and I have Sacral for the sacral chakra.
Or most of the songs on this album that's coming out, are they, because it's Phoenix, it's like a, you know, rising from the ashes and a rebirth. Are they mostly like inspirationals, like songs of like getting your voice and taking your power, and like, is that the theme?
Yeah, that's definitely the theme. The second single, I Don't Want You Back, it's basically me saying I don't want my ex back and like encouraging people. You know, sometimes it's easy to fall back into that space because it's a comfortable space.
Yes.
But sometimes, or a lot of the time, it's just you just gotta move forward and not look back. So that's what that song is about. But yeah, definitely all the songs are really meant to empower people and encourage people.
So all these inspirational quotes and lessons, is it all from books, or are there people in your life that are kind of teaching you these things? Or
so I would say like some books, some just life experiences. My mom, I do spend a lot of time like thinking about life. I do spend a lot of time like either meditating or like praying. Last year I got into like communing with my ancestors. I have an altar set up. So I set up my altar like most nights and I just talk, I just talk and try to listen. I know that sounds weird, but just try to get some lessons.
well, it's not weird because I mean, I don't know if I'm going to keep this or edit it out, but I feel my ancestors all the time, when I'm I was close with my grandmother, and sometimes I hear her voice, or I kind of look for her for inspiration and guidance sometimes, because there's just so much noise and chaos and nonsense going around me. And I say, like, what would my grandmother say right now if she was here? What would she do? Right.
Oh, I love that.
Well, the women that came before us, they were strong because they had no choice. Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are you, I like to read. I read a lot. Actually, it's not about me, but I was an English lit major too. So.
Oh, cool.
We are. Are you reading anything interesting right now?
There's this book, I'm forgetting the name of it, but it's written by a monk. And
is it Jay Shetty?
No, I do follow him. So I do get I like him a lot, and I love his wife. Like his wife has
she's
such
cute.
a great energy.
I follow her too, yeah.
But I'm forgetting the name of the book. But basically the book has like a bunch of questions about life and answers to those questions. And I like it because sometimes I take certain things super seriously, like my music. I just take it super seriously. And I just need to remind myself to live life and live slowly, like enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the wind on my skin, and not just freak out about everything. I make everything to be a big deal, but it's just a reminder, like, chill out, relax,
I get it. Because are you always in your head? Are you over analyzing everything?
Oh yeah, I definitely do. And then one of my songs I wrote were ghosts in a blanket doing pirouettes in the Milky Way. So I'm just like, we're really on this rock that's spinning, we're doing pirouettes in the Milky Way. Like, it's not that serious, just chill out.
Yeah. I like the fact that you took a shitty situation and you allowed it to like tap into your creativity and then create something out of it, which is what a lot of artists do. And it's therapeutic, plus you're creating art at the same time,
Yeah, definitely. So, I believe there's a lesson in everything. Yeah. So I decided to just use those lessons to create art.
So that's it. So there's 10 tracks. You're hoping it's going to come out in October, November.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you're going to have to tour probably, or who knows what the situation will be like in November, but venues in Montreal are opening up for sure. Any tour dates or
I don't have any tour dates, but once I get to Montreal, I'm going to reach out to venues and pitch myself. I'm going to record this show for a YouTube channel, so I'm going to perform. So that's going to be helpful for me to like get my performances out there, and just reaching out to people, and I'll have an album to present to them. And I can't wait to start performing again. Like ideally, I would do a mixture of like burlesque to my own music. So I know that doesn't fit every venue. So I'll do like a mixture of like your regular non-burlesque performances with me singing. And I would like to do like burlesque with me singing as well.
Okay, here's a question. Like, how do you learn burlesque? I mean, I saw the movie with Cher. But I mean, because it's not really like is it choreography? Is it just what you're feeling in the moment, or?
Yeah, it's choreography. So I started off with a group. So we would do choreographies, and then we'd also do solo acts. So I do watch a lot of burlesque acts online to get inspiration, and I've taken courses as well, like online courses. I just finished a burlesque course with Lulu La Duchesse and Miss Page. They're pretty known in Montreal. So I did their online course, and then I'm doing another burlesque class in September. It will be like for fans. So I'm just like acquiring more and more skills so I can be a better entertainer. Definitely entertaining. You should check out the show if you get the chance.
Well, if you have a show in Montreal, I will definitely come. I would definitely love to see you perform and hear what you have to say. I'm going to wrap it up. So what is your biggest life lesson that you've learned by following your dreams and just not following your dreams and facing your fears right now?
So I would say, like, this is my mantra: when in doubt, do. Like, I have a lot of doubts, but I just do anyways. I just keep creating. And so I'm just not stopping no matter what. Music, I do music for myself. And my boyfriend told me, he's like, don't forget to enjoy your own gifts. So while you're stressing about this whole process, you're not enjoying your own voice. So that stuck with me. So now, like, when I sing, I'm actually like, I'm enjoying it. Like, it's a great gift, and it's a gift for me too.
I'm going to quote you, and I don't know who you quoted it from, but as you said, pain is a teacher. So whatever happened to you in the past is bringing you, even if it's bad, whatever happened to you in the past has brought you to this point. And this is exactly where you're supposed to be. And all the lessons you learned are exactly what you were supposed to learn. And that makes you who you are.
Yeah, definitely. I want to snap to that.
now I sound kind of Oprah-y and kind of, but I get it. Yeah, I get it. All right. It was great talking to you. So it's Erockfor.
Yeah, that's it.
And the Phoenix will rise in October, November. Is that it?
Exactly.
From the ashes. And I'm looking forward to hearing it. And thanks for talking to us.
Thanks so much for having me. It was great.